Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this event in association with Mobotix. My name is Ahmad Younes. I am the sales director from Mobotix for the region, and it's an honor, really, to present to you today on behalf of Mobotix. Let me first introduce our company. Mobotix is a German company established in 1999. We have 23 years of experience in the industry. We have over 450 people working with us, scattered around the globe. 8 sites around worldwide. One of them is here in Dubai. And we produce over 12,000 cameras a month. So the title of this presentation is Security Through Intelligent Sensors. And Mr. Whitehouse today basically presented my presentation, which is basically sustainability, intelligent on the edge, MTBF, and the cost of the system, not only initial investment, but also the running cost. But this is one of my favorite presentations for a very simple reason. I made it. I'm just kidding. So basically, before, in the past, people depended on people, even on information delivery. So that also applies right now on technology. We depend heavily on technology. But if we want to take the example of people depending on people in the past, and we take the most basic example, which is security, perimeter security, we used to have people sitting on the edge, on the border, in this post, looking out, watching, identifying threats, taking actions in their hands, whatever means available at that time, and alerting the center that there is a threat, there is a problem, we need help. And of course, one of the innovative ways back then was the smoke signals. Now, how do we apply this right now on the technology part? Right now, if we want to compare a conventional CCTV system with an intelligent CCTV system, we have here cameras that only stream. They are just a streaming device. They do nothing other than compressing the image, sending it to the center. And that center is responsible for a lot of processes, including image processing, image analysis, recording, alarms, integration. So you created for yourself a single point of failure. That single point of failure, if it gets compromised, your entire system right now is useless. So the other part is, since the camera is so basic, it cannot really do anything when there is an alarm or there is an incident. You depend on the security guard, and that means more time spent on viewing the recording and alarms, and more money spent on manpower, on false alarms. Of course, you have more recording on the servers, more bandwidth consumed, and so on. So there is a lot of cost involved in this. And you never have a true redundancy whenever a server fails or an MVR fails. And since the camera is basic, it cannot prevent hackers from going into that camera, hack it, do something to your network or to your system. So how do we prevent that? By using an intelligence on the edge. If we want to compare between a conventional system and an intelligent system, you have image processing and analysis on the camera. You take some of the load away from that server and reduce the cost, reduce the number of servers needed, and by reducing the number of servers, you are automatically reducing the power needed. And as you build your system, instead of increasing that cost, you are actually decreasing that cost. We're not talking about only the initial cost. We are also talking about the running cost, especially the power consumption. We're talking about also eliminating the single point of failure, because now you have a true decentralized system, because once the VMS server or the MVR is down, you still have your cameras operating, sending alarms, and maybe you have other plans, which is maybe recording on the camera itself. And since the camera is intelligent enough to run some algorithms, it can also do something Like as simple as playing a message on its speaker, as simple as activating a siren. You prevented an incident. We will see some examples in the next few slides, which I know that we don't have that much time. So less false alarms means less storage consumed, less bandwidth, and less time spent on viewing useless images. And then, since the camera has all of those features, you don't have to worry about licensing cost, or reoccurring licensing costs, as we call it. And you can utilize some of the features available in the camera to have a true redundant system. One of the examples is now every camera in the market has a slot for SD card. You can record temporarily on the SD card, and our system in Mobotix, you can actually resynchronize whatever was recorded in the SD card back into the storage, so you have a streamline of recording. And since the camera now is intelligent enough to run some complex rules and algorithms to prevent hackers' attempts, and then therefore you protected your system from being compromised. Now, what are the biggest trends in the market at the moment? I'm sure that you read a lot of news, you see what's happening out there, and what is keeps on being mentioned. The first one is blockchain. The blockchain is the perfect example for a decentralized system. You cannot switch off a system based on blockchain because there is no central area where you can just plug off the switch or whatever. So it's a true redundant system, and it's very scalable. You don't have to worry about scalability, and very sustainable as well. The next part is Internet of Things. You hear a lot of Internet of Things, what does it mean? You have a lot of systems connected together, sending to each other commands, information, decisions. The third one and the fourth one, they go hand in hand, which is the artificial intelligence and the deep learning. Especially now, a lot of systems are depending on deep learning because you want to enhance your system, which is also falls under the sustainability. Once the system is intelligent enough and it can teach itself over time, you are actually increasing the performance of that system. Last but not least, which is really important part, because without that part, all of the above is useless, cybersecurity. And there was title of this slide was, who's watching you? Since the cameras are not able, not all of the cameras, but some of the cameras are not able to protect themselves, you are actually putting your system at risk. Sometimes the hacking attempt comes within the system. It doesn't have to be connected to the internet to be compromised. But with the evolution now, with the 5G introduction, all of the systems, or a lot of the systems, are connected to the internet. How did Mobotix apply these trends before they become trends even? We started, even in 1999, when we introduced the first camera, that camera was based on a decentralized system. We had artificial intelligence on the camera, running on the edge, without using the server. We introduced the first security codec, we call it MXPEG. Everybody is using H.264, H.265, but we are the first company to come up with a video security codec, specifically for security industry. So many patents registered under Mobotix name, and so many innovations happening every day. Now, if you let me talk today, I will maybe talk for hours. I'm not going to do that. And you cannot shut me up, and my boss here is nodding. So if you maybe want to talk further, please visit us at our table there, and we can show you some of the stuff that we have made. Which is in 2019, we introduced something called Mobotix 7th platform, and it's a true platform because those cameras, they are equipped with a quad-core processor. It has ARM and FPGA architecture, and you can also enable the neural network for deep learning. So it's ready for the future. The MTBF of those cameras are more than 9 years. So again, one of the points touched by Mr. Whitehouse. You can run applications. We're not talking about simple analytics like motion detection or whatever, people counting. We're talking about true applications that requires a lot of processing power to run. So we released also so many applications already, more than 30 applications. Something related to traffic, something related to retail, something related to ANPR, face recognition. All of that happens on the edge without any server needed. Let's see an example here, which is one of the nicest examples that we have seen a lot of successful stories in Europe, especially in old houses, in old people houses and hospitals, where the intervention time is so limited. You need to intervene immediately to save lives. We're talking about something called fall detection. You have a patient or old person was walking around normally, suddenly had something happen to him, and you need immediate reaction. You cannot just wait for someone to see him or pay attention. And then the camera can automatically alert, send alerts, do something, call. We also have, of course, if you know Mobotix, we have SIP-enabled cameras. You can actually initiate a call from the camera up to your phone at your office or desk. The next application, which is really seeing a lot of successful stories for us in the region, is the ANPR on the edge. This is not only camera sitting at the entrance of a hotel or anything. This is now helping law enforcement agencies to identify also wanted vehicles, something on the blacklist. If you're looking even for a vehicle that has, you don't know the plate number, you just know the model and make, this is happening on the edge, on the vehicle, without a server needed. You can also have whitelist loaded into the camera, blacklist loaded into the camera, and then you can have a 360 view monitoring around the vehicle. As you can see from the video, I'm just driving around, picking up all of the lanes around my vehicle. If I had a blacklist loaded into the camera and I'm looking for a specific vehicle, I can immediately identify that vehicle. Also here we can see the model, make, and color. This is a really serverless application. We also do, since we do ANPR, we can also do container code recognition. Even we can also do, on airport applications, you can also read the tail number of airplanes, and you can also apply that to vehicles or trucks carrying dangerous goods, because they also have to carry a specific code on the vehicle. So any OCR application, it can be done right on the edge. Then it comes to this cybersecurity part. Mobotix is known in the market for the most cyber-secure camera. We have a lot of certificates by third-party companies. They do penetration tests, they do vulnerability tests, and then they will, of course, let you know if there is any. And this is some of the certificates that we have acquired. We are also FDA approved on our thermal cameras, and we recently got the EN54, which is, of course, if you work with the fire prevention system, we have that EN54 also certificate for our thermal cameras. So we build more than just a camera. We do intelligence, innovations, and help the customer reducing not only the capital cost, but also the running cost, and increase the reliability and scalability of the system. Thank you so much. I hope it wasn't so boring. I had only limited time. Please visit me at the table for further discussion. Thank you.